Together, let's embark on a scientific exploration of yoga, where you are the scientist, your heart is the laboratory, and you are the outcome.
Namaste and welcome to Astha. Today, I would like to share with you all a very special feature that we ought to have during our spiritual journey. It's not just about spiritual journey, but it also is very important in the business world. Bhautik Jivan. What occurred to me? What is good that will make you better? So one keeps wondering and wondering and wondering for a retail shop. It will be nice to have a retail shop in a strategic location in the city. If it's in the mall in the city, it has to also be on the right floor at the right location. So one businessman said it's all about location, location, and location. Likewise, there are three things very important for a spiritual success: attitude, attitude, and attitude. Whether we are a worshipper of Lord Shiva or Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna or whoever, or if you have a belief in Allah or you're a believer of Lord Jesus or Lord Buddha, attitude plays a vital role in our relationship with the person whom we are related, we are dedicated to. Imagine the importance that we give to very important guests. Very important guest is coming home. For example, your chief minister or your prime minister is coming home. How will you prepare your home? Likewise, when we are approaching God and trying to invite Him in our hearts, what should be our attitude? Are we preparing ourselves ahead of time, preparing our hearts? And there is a beautiful bhajan in Gujarat. I will translate directly into English, which says, "Hey Shyam, O Lord Krishna, please come to my home. I will treat you in such a way. I'll make you forget your Vaikuntha, your abode." So that's the attitude, that's the challenge with which we have to invite the Lord in our hearts. When we are planning for next day morning's meditation, what should be our attitude just before I go to sleep? It should be exactly like a young man waiting, in the cinema hall, for example. He's waiting for his beloved. First date. Beloved says, "I'm going to be there at 11:30 in the morning by this corner." The boy is already there before 11 o'clock, half hour before perhaps. He's marching left and right at that location. And if she comes instead of at 11:30, she comes at 11:35, his world would end in those 5 minutes of waiting. It looks like eternity. That restlessness, we need to have such restlessness. Invoke the restlessness that you once had in your youth and apply it towards God and see the magic that can happen in your devotional practice, in your meditation. Promise yourself, oh, as soon as I get up in the morning, first thing I'm going to do is, after taking a shower, meditate. And meditate with what? Meditate with immense love that is building up during your sleep. So this restlessness is the key. Restlessness creates a sort of hunger, sort of thirst. It makes you like a sponge. And when this divine transmission descends or grace descends from above, it's very easy to get into a state of samadhi. And especially the heartfulness way, when we are meditating on the heart, along with transmission that comes from the guide, to reach that samadhi state, it becomes a child's play with such an attitude. So it's really, really important that we have a right attitude before and during meditation. What about after the meditation? After each meditation done with such a fervor, with such restlessness, you are bound to create a certain state of mind after that particular period of meditation, maybe half hour, maybe 25 minutes. We have to focus now on that particular state where you are simply melting away, you are simply in love. Reflect on that state, reflect on that condition, and see how you can develop it further during your daytime, during your daily activities. So in order for me to develop this further during my daily activities, I'll have to remember what was my state after the morning meditation. So what I'm asking you to do is to take a pause, and having this pause, reflect on that insight, the state that you received, and see how you can multiply it further. So right after meditation, relax more, reflect on your state for at least 3-4 minutes more, and try to hold on to that state and walk into the world. If you have to cook something, hold on to that state while cooking. You're partaking meals, hold on to that state while you're taking meals. It will bring revolution in our life. Once we begin our puja, our practice with so much of love, receiving it with love, and holding on to those divine gifts and working on those gifts all throughout the day, I think it will be wonderful. And then, when heart becomes purer and purer and more dignified, I think divinity simply descends into our heart. And as they say, people who are waiting for heavens, we don't have to wait for heavens. Heavens will surely descend in such a heart. So let's invite that divinity in our hearts with a lot of prayers, and let's meditate with that spirit. Please sit with the same comfortable posture you are in, with your attention drawn very gently towards the heart. Think that the source of light which is already present inside my heart is drawing my attention inward. It is pulling my attention inward. If thoughts do arise, just gently remind yourself that we are in meditation, meditating on the source of light. Let us rest our attention in the heart. Feel the longing that is there in the heart to be one and the highest one can be. Call upon this deepest self for guidance Try to go deeper within. Once this process of meditation is over, I will say that's all. That is when you open your eyes. Please start meditation. That's all. Now we take up some questions we have received. Hi, this is a question from Sarvanan from Tirupur. He's asking a question: what is the best time for meditation? Well, for a process of meditation, we have to somehow begin. The beginning is very important, preferably before sunrise, at a fixed hour. If you cannot meditate before sunrise, you can meditate any other time, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And for sisters who are really busy with daily activities of looking after breakfast and preparing lunch for family and preparing children to go to school, they can meditate at noon. So there is no hard and fast rule for ladies, but for men and for sisters also. If you can meditate before sun rises, it will be good meditation. See? Meditation is one thing, and to remain meditative is another thing. Meditation can begin, but meditative state of our mind should be maintained as much as we can during daytime. We have another question from Mysore. Friend named Saurabh. Question is, will meditation make me happy? These days I am so depressed and lonely. I feel the effect of meditation lasts for a few moments and disappears as my day gets very active. You see, when we refer to one sloka from Gita, Lord Krishna says, how can you be happy? With every question, he responds also with a solution, with an answer. He says, you can be happy under harmonious situation. When you are restless, can you be happy? No. How to bring about harmony within? Unless you become contemplative. And how can you become contemplative? Unless you have a focused mind. And how can you arrive at a focused mind? Unless you regulate your mind. And how are you going to regulate your mind? Unless you do meditation. So meditation and happiness, they are really closely related, see. If you are getting disturbed after a few minutes of meditation, that means the method that you are using is not proper. You need a good trainer. You don't have to spend enormous money, neither do you have to spend even 1 naya paisa. The technique taught under Heartfulness, the guidance given to you under Heartfulness, Pranahuti that you receive through Heartfulness is all free. You are welcome to experiment with it and let me know within 1 week the transformation that you may see in your attitude, in your lifestyle, in the way you think. All the best. I would like to thank all the participants of Yoga for Unity and Well-being 100 days towards the International Day of Yoga 2021. So, thank you everybody. Aapka khub khub abar. We meet again अगले Sunday 9 AM.